What if the life that you've worked so hard to build isn't the life you want anymore? I've lived in New York, Los Angeles, and Napa, and I never thought I would leave until the math just didn't make sense anymore. And right now, I'm seeing more and more people move from the coasts, quietly coming to the same realization. This isn't just a trend, this is a lifestyle upgrade. It's a shift in how people are thinking about their lives. The cost of living versus quality of life equation has broken down in major cities. You can make a lot of money and feel incredibly constrained. We did. We were living in Los Angeles. We moved here in 2014, game changer. Let's talk numbers for a second because this is where it really gets down to it. This is what a home in Los Angeles in the 2 to 3 million range looks like. This is what a home in Austin, Texas, specifically Westlake, Eanes ISD, Texas, looks like. Can you see the difference? Wow. I remember selling our townhouse just by the beach in Los Angeles. Here, we had patios there, and we moved here and we had a half an acre with a pool and a 5-bedroom house. I mean, wow. And when you move to Westlake, you are in beautiful rolling hill country. You are just outside of downtown, and the traffic, there is just no comparison. People complain about the traffic here, but they've never lived in LA, New York, and even Napa. If you're coming outside of Napa into Napa, like I used to do for my kids when they were in Montessori school, it was an hour and a half of my day, twice a day. One of the biggest reasons people move here is the education. And Eanes specifically provides some of the best education in the country. We are a top 6 school in the entire country. So private school, yes, private school is a real thing and we have some wonderful options. But if you don't want to go the private school route, we have Eanes ISD here. You get the top tier education without the private school price tag. That alone can shift an entire financial picture for a family. For me, it wasn't just about numbers. I had 2 daughters. They were 3 and 4 years old at the time. This is back in 2014. And I thought about raising my kids in this environment in Los Angeles. I'm a New Yorker originally, so I started there. Imagine raising my kids in New York City. Well, I started out in Los Angeles with 2 little ones, and man, did I feel like I was on my own. It was a shock when I moved here. It felt like I had entered the Twilight Zone. People were so warm and friendly. Families come together. We do school drives together. We carpool. We support each other in a way that I never found in LA. And I'm not trying to put LA down. I had a great time as a single person and an entrepreneur, but being here in Austin is a whole nother reality. The value system here, the way people come together in community, it's like nothing I've ever seen. There's a warmth in Westlake that's hard to explain until you experience it. Couple of small examples. We moved here. We had multiple people bring warm cookies to our door just to welcome us to the neighborhood. On Thanksgiving, we had 5 offers because they were so concerned about us being on our own without family. In December, we had Christmas carolers at our door here. I mean, just so sweet, authentic. You know, the other thing, no one ever asked me what I did for a living when I moved here. And they were so curious and interested in us. And it was just an amazing experience. They invited us around to backyard barbecues. And we have gotten so many restaurants. If you're a foodie like we are, we can go downtown and try a new restaurant at least every month. And we, of course, have our local favorite spots. You're close enough to everything, but you're not quite right in the middle of it. You have breathing room. You can walk out your door and go for a beautiful hill country walk. You can drive down to the water. We have very decent hikes here. Listen, I lived in LA for 13 years. We're not going to compare a Malibu hike to an Austin hike. However, we do have really beautiful rolling hills. We have the Colorado River that runs through our town. We have Town Lake. So there's so many opportunities to be out in nature. And it is a fitness culture. It is a progressive culture. We are getting a little bougie over here. It is happening over time, but it's not quite there yet. And it definitely does not feel pretentious. It feels comfortable, it feels warm, it feels elevated, and it feels inviting. Austin in general is incredible, but Westlake is something different. It's smaller, more intentional, more private, and for a lot of my clients coming from the coasts, that balance is exactly what they didn't realize they needed. You know, being a city girl, it was hard for me to really wrap my head around moving to a smaller town, but I have to say I have zero regret. I thought I would miss the energy, the culture, the access, but we are getting all of that here in Austin. And as we get a little older, it's a little less about being in the middle of the mix all the time, and it's more about true connection, for me anyway. This move isn't for everyone, but it's perfect for a specific type of person or chapter in your life. If you have school-age kids and you're not willing to compromise on education, if you have a strong design aesthetic and a home that actually reflects how you live, if you want the financial advantages of Texas, if this conversation is slightly on your mind, this is the channel you're looking for. I talk about what it really feels like to move here, how to do it well, and how to make sure you don't lose what really matters in the process. So subscribe if you want more of that. And I'd love to know where you're watching from. So leave a comment below and let me know where you're at, but still want to feel like you. And if you're coming from New York, LA, or anywhere on the coasts, I promise you'll find your people here. And if you're seriously considering a relocation, I'll leave my contact information below and we can have a genuine, heartfelt, human-to-human conversation about what it's like to live here in Westlake, Austin, Texas. I'd love to help you think it through.